What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Bonnie Scotch. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. I wanted to bring you a little side conversation as it is related to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, every time I turn around, I swear there is something new going on with these peaches, but I just like to hone in on the things that I find most interesting, and we need to get into Angela talking about this Wendy Williams Charles side baby rumor. But before we get into that, go ahead and hit the like button for me. When you hit the like button, it is a free way to support the channel and also let YouTube know that I am here and that you all are rocking with my commentary, so YouTube starts to shoot my content out to other viewers. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting. As you all remember, in the very beginning of the season, when we were introduced to Angela, she made it a point to list the age of all of the children except for Charles Jr., which of course sparked the rumor that Charles has an outside baby. Now, we all know how the internet works by now, so of course somebody dug up this old clip of Wendy Williams on her show, giving us the tea about the time she met Angela Oakley.
Said goodbye to Charles, and then she came over and said goodbye, and she gave me a hug, and then she whispered in my ear, she said, "Can I tell you something?" I said, "What?" She goes, "Wendy, it's only a baby.
Oh.
You can work this out." And I looked at her like, "Has this ever happened to you?" So she said, "Yes." I said, "Did you work it out?" And she pointed over to Charles and said, "Yes."
Angela was recently seen on 107.5 WGCI clearing up those rumors.
Okay. I mean, people were giving a lot of not backlash, but like they were trying to pry into your relationship with Charles because clearly you guys were separated for a while.
We were not.
Oh,
and
you
a
weren't?
lot of people, see, let's clear that up
Yeah,
because we
please.
can clear, and it more will come out in the show. When he got drug out of Madison Square Garden, like I see people are saying that's not a big deal. This is Charles Oakley going to the New York Knicks game, a team that he gave his blood, sweat, and tears. He has bruises on him to this day, scars that will never heal from playing in that arena. So he's at a game and he gets drugged out on national television. That's just like someone coming in here, dragging you out of here unprovoked.
Yeah.
For life. And this is a man with, I'm not going to say ego, but ego.
Pride.
Who's, who has pride. So when that happened to him, that was traumatic. And when I say traumatic, I didn't recognize him anymore. And I don't even think he knew who he was anymore because everything was snatched from him. So we separated in that time. Yes, we separated, meaning you go do you go figure this out. And I'll be here when you need my support. But you can't keep pushing my support away because he didn't know what it was. Like he didn't understand what was happening to him. So I gave him grace. Now, with that being said, he got to see if this is what he wanted. And, in that time, he found his way back home. But that's what happened. But go ahead.
Okay, but he did. So he did have a son or a baby.
No.
He didn't have an outside baby.
No.
I don't want to call baby outside, but all your kids are between the two of you.
No, he has a son.
Okay, now help me out, friend.
But you see, I don't know when it's coming out because I kind of wanted to play out on the show because I love that this Wendy Williams story is kind of like growing legs.
Okay.
This is something that happened in 2020 where I saw Wendy at a party, and me being a fan of Wendy is like, oh my God, Wendy, you going through it, sis. Let me tell you, it's just a baby. And Charles and Wendy have been friends 30 years. Like they known each other. So he's been on her show. And so they had an event together, and we're coming together to cook for this event. And I'm like, Wendy, girl, stay with your husband. It's just a baby. And she was like, get the away from me. And she was like, has that ever happened to you? And I'm like, yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This lady goes on her big platform and says, I pointed to my husband, who actually wasn't even around us in this conversation. And I'm like, no, Wendy, my daughter's father, my 25-year-old father, did that to me.
Oh.
So I'm like, and the best thing that ever happened to me was my 25-year-old.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Wendy, like, girl, it's okay. Charles Oakley did not have a side baby on me. And I am not, I'm not against women who stay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we're going to work out. They're going to work out whatever they need to work out. You know, it could be someone looking at my marriage and like, girl, you stay. When he cook his bacon, he cook it too black. You know, it could be anything. Like women want to pry or people want to pry in your relationship to see why you stay. I don't judge other women if they stay in any situation. But that's just not my story. So my husband did not have a side baby on me. And I hate, and every time it comes up, people be like, here you go. See, this is you and your big ass. Ow, excuse me.
Oh, yeah, the family.
Like, you should have never went up to Wendy Williams and said nothing to her. That's what he's saying. Like, you don't even know her.
But you were trying to be supportive.
I was, but not to Wendy. Like, really.
Yeah.
And that's why I slow played my way into the housewives. 'Cause I'm like, I'm not going to go hard on any of these women before I know who they are.
Yeah.
Without, because Wendy taught me a valuable lesson. Shut your mouth.
Wow. I'm glad you were able to clear that up.
Child, isn't it so raggedy that the man is accused of cheating and having a side baby? Meanwhile, the woman has to do the heavy lifting of clearing it up? Anyway, let's go ahead and address what she said in this interview. Now, I've seen a lot of reviewers and people online saying that they don't buy the story that Charles and Angela separated due to him getting kicked out of Madison Square Garden. I never understood this line of thinking because Charles Oakley was a major player for the Knicks. So many people's identity is wrapped up in their career. Imagine giving this team so much time, effort, and energy to be dragged out on national TV in front of millions. That would be a humiliating, life-changing experience for anybody. And the way men's pride is set up, I can see this creating an issue within their marriage. As for Angela walking up to Wendy Williams at a party to tell her, oh, hey girl, it's just a baby. Angela, you are so out of order for this. This is bad advice for friend or stranger. If it's just a baby to you, that's fine. I understand that that's not a deal breaker for everybody. But to tell somebody it's just a baby is like saying, oh, it's just a spirit, it's just a soul. Because that's what a baby is. Wendy was the breadwinner in her relationship, and Kevin was absolutely spending Wendy's money on that lady. But then it becomes an issue of, now this lady is going to be paying her man's child support. I feel like you should do whatever you want to do at your household, but telling somebody it's just a baby is bananas in pajamas. Why would she insert herself in that lady's business like that? Meanwhile, that man was Wendy Williams' entire downfall. Now, I want to give a quick shout out to my bestie that I have been having this conversation with, and she has pointed out that Angela is a messy auntie. Now, I will have my bestie's channel linked in the description, so go ahead and subscribe and show my girl some love. Back to Angela. Did y'all peep how she said Charles and Wendy have been friends for 30 years? She inserts herself in people's business, and we've seen her do it plenty on the show, as my bestie has pointed out. Now, we see how it got her in trouble on the show, right? Let's go through some examples and get down in the comments and let me know if I missed anything. Remember the note that Angela wrote to Kenya that got the mess started at the bank with Brittany and Kenya? Out of order. Number 2, Angela invited Drew to Portia's trip, brought Drew up at every turn, and then deflected when she was held accountable at the table. Number 3, Angela carried back misinformation, saying that Shamia asked Drew, did you F Dennis? Shamia actually said, are you dating Dennis? I said this in my second review. Now, I want to sidebar really quick, even though it is still related to Angela. Now, y'all know Carlos King, ex-producer of RHOA, reviews the show along with Dustin Ross and Claudia Jordan. Apparently, Angela had been invited to join the Housewives since season 3. My personal theory is she didn't want to go on while Sheree was on the show, seeing as though it is rumored that Charles and Sheree allegedly have a history. Let's get into this Carlos King clip first, and then we will get into Charles Oakley and Sheree rumors being addressed on Watch What Happens Live.
The audience is going to clock you when you're trying to do the most.
Yep.
Angela Oakley is giving us old school housewives, and this is coming from a producer who started season 1, episode 1. Okay, and I'm gonna drop dime on this motherfucker too.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
we wanted Angela Oakley since season 3.
Mm-hmm.
And they turned us down. We asked again 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And that's all I remember because I left the show after season 9. But while I was on the show, Angela Oakley name constantly came up. Charles Oakley is an NBA legend. He's not a fake boyfriend. He's not a fake husband.
Now, I have a personal theory on why Angela turned this opportunity down for all the years that she did. Sheree's name was mentioned as it is related to Charles. It is rumored that they talked or they dated or they had a little something going on. And Angela seemed really dodgy about this on Watch What Happens Live. So that let me know that there was something going on. There was a little more going on beyond the surface, okay? Let's go ahead and get into that clip.
Let's go to the virtual fans. Hannah from Michigan, what's your question for Angela Oakley? Hey.
Hi, Andy. Hi, Will.
Hey, what's happening?
Angela, are the rumors true that Charles Oakley dated Sheree back in the day? And do you ever run into her in Atlanta?
you know what? Charles has dated many women back in the day. So I think the rumors are true, but it's nothing we talk about. So no, I don't run into Sheree, and that's that.
Not, I think the rumors are true. Girl, you know your man dated Sheree. And again, he was sitting right there in the audience, and he could have opened up his mouth and addressed it, and he chose not to. He got a smart mouth, and he's talkative any other time. Now, remember when Portia said on her YouTube channel that when the ladies were at the bank, Angela was poking and prodding and trying to get in everybody else's business. But when it came to her own, she didn't want to share anything. And so Portia decided to tell what she calls a joke and say, oh, I know something about Charles. So I am sure that the tea that she knows is the tea that all of the OGs know, that Charles and Sheree used to date. Now, Angela did take a dig at Portia in the last episode, asking her why she took that lady's husband, in addition to inviting Drew on her birthday trip while her and Drew are beefing. And so Portia decided that she wanted to say, well, if she keeps messing with me, I'ma F her husband. Angela packed her bags and got on the first thing smoking back to Atlanta, which let her entire slip show that she is insecure about Charles. If you're gonna walk around like you got the fattest pussy in the room and you wanna stir turds and carry the bones and be the messy auntie, you gotta make sure that your shit is so flawless, okay? And if it's not, you gotta pretend that it is. You cannot let them see you sweat. That is rule number 1 when you come into reality TV. And I feel like Charles is the chink in Angela's armor, just like Kevin was the chink in Wendy Williams' armor. She should have never let these ladies know that Charles is her sore spot, because they are going to continue to dig and dig into it. In my opinion, it would have been much smarter for Angela to come in playing the mother role so that people would feel protective of her, so that people will want to windmill on her behalf if somebody try to air her tea out. But girl, you want to be a mess on the show, so the girls are going to fully play into it. Now, I really like Angela, and I'm really looking forward to how the rest of this season plays out. But Angela, I got my good eye on you, Miss Thing. But anyway, y'all, those are my thoughts and opinions. Go ahead and get down in the comments with me. You already know I want to hear from you. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting. And I will see y'all for the next one. Peace.
So let me tell you, there was a comment that Portia made where she said, oh, I got some tea on Charles.
She the feds or something?
I think a lot of people feel like my husband is my soft spot. So in order to crack the egg, if you will, they want to throw a dagger at our marriage or whatever. Now, you can speculate all the hell you want to, but you better not say no something about my husband.
Girl!